Hello, everyone. Now I'm here after Viva Tech the first day, and then now I just met amazing person who is doing meaningful work. So I would like to introduce you guys. So hi.
Hi. Hi everyone. My name is Guillaume. I'm working for Deeptech Founders. Deeptech Founders is a French training program where we spend 5 months with about 20 to 30 teams of scientists, wondering whether there is a potential for a startup based on their technologies, or if they can structure their startup project a bit better so they can attract funding. So we are working with teams with dedicated team coaching because this is really important. We say that the project is more an excuse for working on the human material, which are scientists. And the idea is to introduce the business mindset, introduce what's important in startup venture so that people get ready, understand what's at stake, and even if they are not at the end the CEO, even if they at the end not join not a startup but stay in the lab, they have an idea about what's happening, how to discuss with potential partners, how to find co-founders, and how to launch their project.
I think this is such a necessary work because many like engineers and also scientists they have really good deep knowledge, but making business is a different story. So also I witnessed that many also doctors and then professors are doing amazing thing, but the direction of the business it was a bit tricky. So then, what was the like a first motivation how it started?
The first motivation was actually working with those teams in the tech transfer world in France. And the motivation was like, okay, the ecosystem in France was at the time, 2017, 2018, was really great at providing support in terms of IP, in terms of contracts, in terms of partnerships. But then in terms of changing the mindset of people, it was really different. And it was really normal because you work from inside a university with university people and talking to scientists. So everybody is coming from the same place and introducing this business mindset, this way to think about the product, this way to go out of the lab. One thing we want them to do is get out of the lab and talk to people. And that's really important. And that's something the French ecosystem was not totally ready to do. So we decided, why not focus on that, help people, help teams, help scientists, and basically, help those who do great science change the world.
Okay, then here is a question. Well-educated people is so difficult to change their mind. And then how do you make this progress?
I do not agree that people do not change a lot. I've seen people change really, really in their mindset. And I've seen a lot of evolution, and sometimes I'm taken aback by now you're thinking this way. Now you're asking me, but where's the profit in my technology? Now you're so it's possible, but then it's baby steps. It's really introducing to a way of thinking about customers first, thinking about what problems they are solving, what is the value of the technology, not in terms of technology, but in terms of users, in terms of what kind of benefits will they get from you, and not because the tech is cool.
The really like important part because when I'm invited for IR, like what happens usually is that so we have a great tech and it's going to be work. But as you said, the business is starting from the problem that customers are having it. So that sounds really amazing.
And the other thing that we have to change usually is the dynamic of a research team. Because what happens most of the time is that senior researchers, lab directors, they will often stay in the lab. And they will continue doing great research inside the lab.
Right.
And usually there are PhDs, postdocs, they will be the one moving the company forward with external help. But we've got to make sure that everybody understands that if the postdoc or the PhD student is the one moving the company forward, is the CEO and is the boss. And sometimes it's difficult for someone who's been a lab director to hear, no, you're not in charge. If you're not in the company, then you're not in charge. You're an advisor. People will ask you things, but you're not taking any decisions. And this is going against the academic mindset in most research environments.
And then also, I know that sometimes very, how can I say, well-known professors has a team, and then these like postdoc students, they are moving as a team together. How do you handle that?
So it's true that the name of the professor sometimes is key to getting funding. The best example we have from people we have supported is a company called Pascal. They raised 100 million euros. Part of it because they've got a really great take around quantum computer, but also because last year the associated professor got a Nobel Prize. So
wow.
that helps a bit of funding. But usually the academic network of funding is rather limited. And once, if you're talking purely deep tech, yeah, you're talking 50 million, you're talking 100 million, you're talking that amount of money. And that amount of money is not part of academia, of the academia support system. They can get half a million, 1 million, 2 million, okay. But to get the next step, to get to those 10 million, to get to those thousands of customers, it's outside of the network, usually.
I see. Now I can see so much hope for all these like scientific background like startups because your organization Deeptech Founders are really giving practical help because many investors are thinking that if the CEO is scientist, that they are like, oh, okay, maybe I don't want to look at it. I don't, yeah. But because of your organization help, also the scientists have so much hope and the future.
Actually, now we are working with a few VCs who say, okay, we've seen those great scientific teams. Can you take care of them?
Oh yeah.
And then we'll see them in 6 months and see whether we can invest or not. They need to step up the business side. So we are also working with VCs to close this gap and to bring the financial ecosystem and scientific ecosystem back together.
Yeah, that's also a great point because also when there are like investors, oh, I can see that these are good, but blah blah blah. So, but then you are changing that but to N. So
Exactly, and really like in the program, we really insist on making them meet investors, hear how they are working, what they are looking for, so that they see like investment in deep tech is usually something that is needed, but it's not mandatory. If people want to self-fund to go for organic growth, that's fine. That's a really good model also. But if they need investment, they need to know how an investor will think and behave.
right. And also, when I was in automotive industry as a business controller, while I was like insisting that if all departments can be R&D, sales, or like defect or production, they all need to know the basic accounting, so that they have in mind why we need to have this much of the sales, why we need to reduce our cost as much possible this much, so that we can have a better profit. So I think like what you are doing is really also bringing the unification somehow among members.
Yeah, and working with researcher, academia, corporates also, we are trying to bring customers together, medical researchers, patients. We have a lot of great tech everywhere in the world. There are great labs, great scientific minds. They need a little help. and we need to push them a little bit so that we can actually solve the big problems.
I see. Wow. So that you said 5 months, and then after that graduated.
Yes, so 5 months after that, they are officially graduating. If I look at how many of them still call me today, because it's really a lifetime relationship that is created. But 5 months, and then you take a decision. Will I create my company? Will I raise money? Will I go for this or this application? That's the goal of the program.
Oh, I see. Wow. Oh yeah. Thank you very much for sharing what you are doing it. And then I do believe that your organization can be thrived in many different countries.
Yeah, so we are working with European Innovation Council. So all over Europe, we are working with 12 countries now, hoping to see a lot of people from the countries where we don't know the specialty of. We've got great people in the Baltics, in Eastern Europe, Western Europe. Yeah, in the US there are great people. In Asia there are a lot of great tech. So we want to help everyone.
Awesome. I hope someday Korea also has this kind of process and then this organization. So maybe we can help together.
Yep. So if you need us to come to Korea, why not?
Yes, sounds great. Okay, is there just like maybe one sentence that you want to mention to the scientists, maybe in Korea?
Get out of the lab and
see.
talk to people.
Yeah.
To talk to as
Yes.
many people as
Yes.
possible.
Yeah.
Go Deeptech Founders
Yeah.
and go LR.
Yeah. Go Ella. Bye.
Bye.